listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tony Basilio welcoming you to another edition. It is, ladies and gentlemen, your Monday, race fans. So I'm listening to one of my hockey podcasts here before I come in. And I was telling Laura I'm going to tie this into what we're talking about today. Nick Saban's going to be introduced today as co-owner of the Nashville Predators. Bill Haslam's pulled him in down there. Now, here's my question. Why isn't Nick Saban going to be introduced as the commissioner of college football, where he said over the weekend, and he's exactly right, why are these group of five teams in this playoff? The title's going to be College Football Playoff Stinks. Let's fix it. Laura. College Football Playoff Stinks. Let's fix it. And I mean it stinks. And Goldbrick Joe brought up something great to me today. By the way, shout out to Tom Guffon today. Guffon Moving and Storage. Who texted me over the weekend and says, who's watching this? I said, I don't know. But I sure am glad I didn't pay hundreds of millions of dollars for the rights to broadcast it like TNT did. Because I'm here to tell you right now, we have a great sport in college football, a sport I'm very proud of. To my family in Pennsylvania, many of whom, love the NFL. It's what they know. And I've always been a college football lover. And I'm really proud to kind of live where I live and that this is our thing. And that's embarrassing. That's an embarrassment to college football. What I saw over the weekend is embarrassing. And look, and I get that we got to be in a world where we have to pretend that, men are women and women are men and men can play with women. And we're this age we're living in where, you got a swimmer has no business swimming against the girls because it really is a guy, but we're not allowed to call that out. Those group of five teams have zero business being in that playoff. Zero. Like none. And here's the thing about it. People say, well, what are you, crapping on that, Brandon? No. I watched that 1AA game the other day. I watched both 1AA games. I think 1AA football's fine. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with it's not competitive. It's not competitive. It's not competitive. Not competitive. It's not interesting. It's like watching the Lady Vols play somebody that can play right now in basketball. It's not interesting. It's getting blown by, run by, like Orange Throat said today. How did college football get to this point, and how can we fix it? I want to talk to you today about fixing this thing. I want to talk, Zach Mania, don't do the transphobia. I'm not doing transphobia. You think men should be playing with women, Zach? What are you, out of your mind? That's common sense, dude. Don't label me. Don't label me, big boy. Don't label me. It's silly. What are we doing? In all society, why are we pretending? And why are we pretending those group of five teams, they're not playing the same sport, they don't have the same budget? Why don't they have their own playoff? Why don't they have their own playoff? Period, end of sentence. Why don't they have their own playoff? I've been saying it for a couple years now. But apparently we have to pretend because we're in a society of pretending. They let that girl guy at Penn run all over those women and make a mockery of that thing. And this thing's a mockery over the weekend. Those group of 5 teams don't have the same budget. They don't have the same budget. Just like men and women can't compete with each other. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I mean, what are we doing here? And then today the Predators are announcing that Saban's going to be part owner. They need to be marching Saban right up there to the top of college football, over the SEC, over the Big Ten, and say, this is the guy that's going to fix this. Because he said over the weekend, the group of 5 ought to have their own playoff. Those teams don't belong in the playoff. That was embarrassing over the weekend. Embarrassing. It's a total embarrassment. You wait all season. You wait all season to get to that. All season to get to that. And that's what you come up with? That's the apex of your season? Bino, Jeff Henderson. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it, Bino, Jeff Henderson. I don't get it. Do you get it?
No, I don't either, Tony. I mean, obviously we're going through some trial and error in the playoffs. They fixed the seeding, which last year was a huge issue. They get that right. The next thing, and I don't know if it's a fear of litigation or what it is, but the easiest fix in the world is no automatic berths, and the 12 or 16 best teams in America, based on whatever they decide is the best rating format, are put in the bracket and they play. You're exactly right. The gap is widening between the Power 4 teams and the Group of 5.
Yep.
It's not narrowing; it's widening.
Yep.
And they never did belong, and now they certainly don't belong playing with the best Power 4 teams in America. And as long as they're in there, this is what you're going to get. If in one of these odd years where you've got a Group of 5 team that is a true national championship contender, which you'll get once in a blue moon, and their ranking earns them a spot in the bracket, put them in there.
That's right.
Otherwise, they're not in.
Here's a problem, Bino. And people are bringing up this Boise State. Do you guys know that was 20 years ago when Boise State beat Oklahoma? And it was a great story. Again, I'm back to this. It's like guys playing with girls.
That was a one-off, too.
Girls playing with guys, guys playing with girls. That ain't going to happen. You can wish it and hope it. Ain't going to happen. I got news for you. Women are anatomically different than men. I didn't do it. These group of 4 teams play a really fine level of football that I value, just like I value women's sports. I don't mind women's sports. I had Penske on last week celebrating, and I have Joe Kurt on, and I have no problem with any of that. But when we sit here and pretend, and that's all that is pretending. Do you realize that those group of 4 teams or Power 4 teams now use those G5s as feeder teams? That's what they do. These are feeder teams. They're not playing the same sport. You heard Mark Ingram on here, like 2 weeks before he had to fire his coach. The AD at Alabama Birmingham, who I've known forever, he poured his heart out. He said, do you realize, Tony, we lost 31 players off our team last year to the transfer portal, and he said about 15 to 20 of them went on to higher schools. Got picked off our roster. James Madison. Okay? James Madison under the old deal, if you'd have put them in the playoff last year with all those kids that are in Indiana now and were in Indiana last year, okay, that's a different deal. James Madison right now, they have zero business being in that game Saturday. Zero. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. And by the way, I'm not besmirching those kids like Run Right Wannabe said today in the blog who mixes professional wrestling, old school wrestling, and modern college football. Because there's a lot of old school wrestling in modern college football. Because those were two damn squash matches that TNT paid hundreds of millions of dollars to host license from ESPN, who's losing money on this deal, people say. And how could they not lose money on it? That's an awful, horrendous product. Let me tell you something. I am so proud to be a college football fan. That was a disgrace over the weekend. A disgrace. And I love college football. Bino, we all saw what was coming. Stevie Wonder could, Bino, from 300 miles away, you could see that thing coming. You know, Huguenin on Friday said, I'm not even going to hardly watch any of that. Huguenin. He said, I'll be watching the 1AA and the St. John game, and I ain't going to be looking at that. Now listen, here's the thing. The two Division I games that we saw, and I'm going to call these Division I football games, were really great football games. Really great games. Oklahoma-Alabama was a great game. And that A&M Miami game was a great football game. Now, one would say, well, come on, Tony, a great game. I mean, first of all, it was competitive. Secondly, it was hard-hitting. Thirdly, they had to weather the elements so zero team could kick the ball in it. Even Oklahoma with their great kicker. You couldn't throw the ball in that weather. I mean, it was brutal out there. And A&M'd. But I'm not going to sit here today and go, well, you know, that was just a quirk of fate. You keep putting those G5 teams in there and nobody's going to watch this. That's what's going to happen. It's an awful, horrendous, looks like women's basketball sport, no offense to it, and no offense to women's basketball. I don't watch women's basketball night in and night out because I don't want to see Connecticut beat somebody 120-35. That's not interesting to me. I'm sorry, it never has been. Boy, Basilio woke up. I see I'm having my own Festivus, Bino, the day before my birthday Festivus tomorrow. But we got to fix this thing. So I want solutions. How are we going to fix this college football playoff? How are we going to fix it? And I'll tell you something Goldbrick Joe told me too, which is an interesting thing, Bino, which I hadn't even considered, but he's probably right. Why are we having a rematch first game out? Shouldn't there be bylaws in there? Because we're going to go to 16 teams next year, so let's hash this out today. I want some real-world solutions to these issues here. I need this audience to come up with some stuff. We're going to go to a 16-team playoff next year. What's the best format? You tell me. Should they go best 16 teams in America via whatever metric you're going to use? Football uses the net rating plus KenPom plus, they pretty much take the guesswork out of it. Should we do that? I'm going to tell you right now, having a playoff that you wait all year for and having two complete hammer jobs is of zero value. Zero value. And you talk about a sport, when you look at how stupid this portal is, and it is stupid. And yeah, we have a half school. Like, we're at a half, okay? The Vols are a half. Vols are a half. You tell me that that's a fun sport. It is. When you're us, how would you like to be one of these teams that gets picked apart? How would you like to be in a fan base where you're either James Madison or Tulane? That's your school, man. And that's your reward? Think about that for a second. Because we're in a sport where we're pretending that you're playing, like Bino said, we're pretending that you're playing the same game. You know what that is, Bino? That's like elevating a team out of AAA and putting them in the Major League Baseball playoffs. Your reward for winning AAA this year is you get to go up and get the hell beat out of you on national television. Is that a reward, Bino? Was that a reward to James Madison over the weekend?
No, I wouldn't think that was a reward at all, other than monetarily.
I mean, I don't understand what we're doing here. So we got to fix this thing. Any other thoughts, Bino, before we get into fixing it? Because I want to go to the phones and I want your thoughts and Brian's. We're going to 16 teams next year. They're talking about some 4-team, 12 through 16 play each other for the week of the Army-Navy game. Why? Why can't we just have a 16-team playoff? Why does college football, why do they have to take the most circuitous route to doing something normal, Bino?
I have no idea, Tony. I've lived about a quarter of my life inside a bracket somewhere, and I've never seen a convoluted 16-team bracket that somehow the powers that be of college football have figured one out.
And they also want to do this thing, and I'm not so sure this isn't a bad idea. If you go to a 16-team bracket and you want to do a little play-in tournament at the end of the year where 3 versus 5 from the SEC and 4 versus 6 play instead of having a championship game, that actually resonates with me, and that would actually be interesting. Because it would give the Vols Team 6 or Team 5, which is where we're going to be most years. Let's just keep it real here. Can I keep it real with you? I'm going to keep it real. Yeah, I'm in a real mood today. I have my sodium pentothal today with my breakfast. I don't mind that little play-in tournament at the end of the year if they want to do that instead of a championship game. What do you think, Bino?
Well, never having seen it, Tony, I'm not exactly sure what I'll feel about it. My only immediate negative thought would be the SEC puts it goes to 16 teams.
Yep.
Most years, the SEC is going to get 5 teams in there.
Yep.
So that team's sitting in 5th. I'm not sure how much they're going to want to play a playoff game. Of course, if you make them play it, they're going to play it.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I guess my thought is, though, Bino, why are teams 1 and 2 playing at the end of the year?
That's going to get coaches fired probably quicker, isn't it?
I think it gives
losing and playing games.
I think it gives
that. I agree with Tony. I don't see any reason for conference championship games anymore. I just don't see it.
No,
I mean we saw it in the SEC championship game this year.
It makes zero
sense. Had no bearing, meant nothing.
I guess what I'm saying is I really don't get the 4 versus 6, but the 4 versus 6 or 3 versus 6, 4-5 thing at the end of the year from these leagues would make more sense than playing championship games. Playing championship games makes zero sense. But I'm going to go back here. What we had over the weekend that they call a playoff is a disgrace. And by the way, it's a disgrace for Ole Miss. Those first 2 series of that game, and it looked like Ole Miss just kind of played with their food there and kept it close, till halftime or whatever, and then blew them out. Almost like the network called down to their sidelines. I'm not saying they did, but hey, would you guys just kind of don't pedal these people just yet. Don't pedal to the metal these people just yet. Those first 2 drives, You could have taken a truck and driven it through a couple of those holes. There was nobody in the screen. Tim Banks was over there watching that going, man, that is some damn shoddy defense. He was saying, look at the spacing out there. It's like watching those Detroit Lions against the Steelers yesterday. Their safety play. It looked like Tim Banks' safety school. Tim Banks' School of Safeties is running on a 2-hour delay.
Just put yourself in Ole Miss fans' place, Tony.
Yep.
They finally get what all of us have dreamed about, which is a playoff game played in our stadium, watching our team. And they get a bye game that they've already played and already won by 5 touchdowns. That's their home playoff game.
Wow. That was lost on me. 2 rematches this weekend. So Goldie said, and I might ask you guys this because we're going to kick us around today. Should they write into the bylaws no rematches? We're going to seed the teams.
In first round?
Yeah. We're going to seed the teams in the first round, and then if there's a rematch, we're going to reseed them. And how would you do that? If you follow a bylaw like that, how would you then reseed them? Would you reseed them by next available? Go ahead, guys.
Ole Miss is getting 2 straight rematches in the playoffs.
Say?
They got to face Georgia next, so would you try to avoid a rematch in the second round?
And here's the other thing. As incestuous as this thing is, because this thing is incestuous now with these 2 leagues, can you put a rematch clause in there? Can you install a rematch clause, or is a rematch clause just not tenable? And you're right, Bino. You know what? Hey, shout out to Tennessee Lee. Tennessee Lee and Willie Heflin brought it to the table on winners and losers. They caught a lot of winners over the weekend. But one thing Lee said is, and he's right, he said a couple things. Instead of watching real playoff games, we're going to pretend, and we're going to watch the sport embarrass itself, which is what happened. That could have been Notre Dame down there, Bino. Do you know how lit that would have been at Ole Miss if Notre Dame would have been in that house? And if you ask that fan base, would you rather have a Crip win and be bored to death like you were, or Notre Dame in your building and a chance to lose? Most fans would say, bring me Notre Dame. That's what I would say. Bino, isn't that what you would say? Bring me Notre Dame, man. I want a real playoff game. If we're going to do this thing, let's do it.
Yes.
And who would the other game have been? That would have been either Vanderbilt,
Oregon,
or
BYU,
Vandy or Texas.
Or Texas. Texas at Oregon or Vandy at Texas.
Or Vandy at Oregon.
Or Vandy at Oregon, rather. I'm sorry, yeah. I look. I want a G5 playoff. I think millions and millions of people will watch that. Look, 1.5 million people tuned in the other night to watch Old Dominion. They play these bowl games for a reason. And it isn't, I mean, they get UFL crowds for them. They're getting 15,000, 20,000 to some of these games. So that isn't the point. The point isn't the live gate. Maybe it may have been the point 30 years ago. The point's not the live gate now. Live gate is, anybody wants to come to our studio audience, come on down. The live gate is just an addition. I'm telling you right now, straight up, that was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a college football fan today. My sport, my jam was embarrassing over the weekend. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I come from an NFL family, and they're like, you know, I don't, like, my nephew Joe is watching right now. He's like, Uncle Tony, I don't get it. You don't get it. I love the sport, and I'll never get it. How would they, when they put those two teams in there, Bino, how would you ever craft your bylaws to allow that to happen? If you want to allow one to happen because you're afraid of getting sued or political correctness or whatever it is, okay, fine. Two of them? Two of those teams?
And that's the thing about going to 16. They're going to swallow one, Tony. They're not going to deny them a spot. When they go to 16, they're going to figure, hey, that's just one game out of the bunch that we're going to give away, and they're going to continue on as they've been doing.
I'm telling you right now, quit pretending. Those teams do not belong. You ought to tell those teams, you guys, we're breaking off, we're forming our own deal, and you're not a part of it. And they'll be the better for it, and here's why they'll be the better for it. They actually have something to play for now. If you are a group of 5 coach, your goal is to get into the national tournament and get sacrificed at the end of the year. This is not basketball, where Dusty May down there at Florida, at that directional school in Florida, gets Rick Barnes in the Sweet 16 and can beat him. That is not what this is. That is not what this is. You have zero chance in football. Zero chance. And like Bino said, they've already picked your team apart. So the players that you have that can play, I mean, they've already picked your roster apart in the offseason now. Come on. That was a disgrace. A real, living, breathing, and I want to fix it. How are we going to fix it? We'll talk about it. I'll get Bino's ideas, Bry's ideas, your ideas, my ideas. I mean, how in the hell can you put 2 of those teams in there with a straight face and put them on the field with Oregon and Ole Miss? Are you kidding me? And as Bino said, and then not even have the, whatever the term is, to switch them up and let James Madison go to Ole Miss. I mean, we're just willfully going to throw a game up there that was an absolute hammer job to begin with? I thought this thing was made for television. Vols Deep says the G5 will sue and win. No, they won't. Not if you break it off. Not if you break it off. Or if you help them negotiate their own TV deal. I mean, that's what's going to happen here eventually anyway. But that's an embarrassment, what we saw. To me, and we'll talk about this on the other side, they need to have some criteria for these teams to get in. You don't just get in because this year they were all bad. And they still let 2 of them in. It looked at one point like South Florida was going to go on and, have some good wins and have a 10-2 record and get in. And none of us would have. If you go to a Florida and win, and they had another kind of loud win in there somewhere, and then they went and gave it all back. And then everybody's like, well, you wait. James Madison's going. I'm like, what? Huh? Say, huh? Continue with more after this. Living Vol fan, make Alumni Hall your one-stop shop for all your Vol fans on your shopping list this holiday season. There's nothing better than getting your favorite Tennessee gear under the tree. Picture it, a nice polo shirt, a new hoodie, something for the man cave. Pop in and see my friends at Alumni Hall. Best selection of Tennessee gear. Alumni Hall, 3 Knoxville locations. Bristol, Johnson City, Murfreesboro, or online at alumnihall.com. It's easy to have a big orange Christmas. And happy holidays from everyone at Alumni Hall. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Calhoun's invites you to leave the cooking to us all holiday season long. Between now and the end of the year, Feast without the fuss when you host at the holidays. Don't you dare cook. Go absolutely next level with this offer. Between now and the first of the year, Calhoun's is offering an incredible deal on delicious turkey or prime rib dinner. You could feed from 5 to 10 people at your home holiday gathering, not lift a finger of preparation. The turkey dinner comes with amazing sides like mashed potatoes, peas, melt in your mouth gravy, dressing to die for, fresh rolls, cranberry sauce, and homemade cheesecake. And that prime rib dinner features amazing melt in your mouth prime rib, fresh mashed potatoes, au jus, green beans, gravy, rolls, horseradish sauce, and delicious fresh baked cheesecake. This amazing offering is available now through the new year. Call to place your order today. More information found at holidayfeedpack.com. Again, that's holidayfeedpack.com. Feast without the fuss this holiday season with Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is on its way, and keeping your home warm and cozy doesn't have to cost a fortune. Upgrade your HVAC system with Pipe Wrench Home Services and get payments as low as $137 per month. You'll also save on utility bills with a new energy-efficient HVAC system to keep your home warm and comfortable through the holidays. We make it easy with free on-site estimates on replacements and free second opinions on repairs. So call or schedule your appointment online today at pipewrench.com and get a new energy-saving HVAC system for as little as $137 per month. We are committed to keeping your home cozy and worry-free this holiday season. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. Offer good with approved credit. Some restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Tony Basilio, proud to bring to you Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Alan, 'tis the season of giving, and you're in a giving mood.
We're in a giving mood, Tony. We're extending this sale, this 40% off sale. And to the Tony Basilio loyal listeners, of course, we're going to do the 45% off using code word Tony. And because it's the time for giving, if you use that Dave promo code, we're going to give you 45% off. But get this, Tony. We're not going to give you a warranty. We ain't going to give you a warranty because we know if you use the negative promo, you're going to have problems with your floor.
The great thing, though, with the Supercore floor, Alan, and you've proven this over at YouTube, is it's hard to have problems with your floor.
It's hard to have problems, yes, Tony. You don't have claims. I mean, we literally don't. We've got a remarkable product. It's waterproof, pet-proof. It's even mother-in-law proof for the holidays. So there you go. We have 120 different Supercore floors. It's all got a lifetime warranty. Room visualizer. You can take a picture of your room, drop our floor right into it. We've got all this stuff in stock here in Johnson City. We ship nationwide for free.
120 Supercore floors, 45% off through the new year. Alan at WeShipFloors.com. Anything else for us?
Go Vols, Tony.
Love it! WeShipFloors.com.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
You know, I'm listening to myself back, guys, on that We Ship Floors commercial there that Alan just reigned supreme in, and I say love it there at the end. You know, that was rather southern out of me. Did you catch that? That was a rather southern love it.
Yes.
I went, love it. When in Rome, brother, when in Rome. All right, give me a...
Rome is home, Tony.
Rome is home. Give me a couple changes, Bino, you'd make. Then we'll go to the phones.
There'd be absolutely no automatic berths.
16 teams.
It would be the the top 12 to 16 teams would be the ones, and they would be seated accordingly. And they need to come up with a more transparent selection criteria, not 11 old codgers in a room trying to figure out, watching games, who's got the best football team.
I mean, this year
One more thing.
Yeah.
And a sitting athletic director cannot be on the committee. No sitting athletic directors. Former coaches, maybe former ADs, maybe okay.
How many G5s?
But it kind of makes you wonder. Arkansas got hammered by Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame doesn't get in.
Do we limit the G5s to one, guys?
The G5 has to be at least, if it's a 16-team playoff, they got to be ranked at least 12th or better. If it's a 12-team playoff, they got to be ranked at least 10th or better. That's what I would do.
I'm not guaranteeing them a spot. I would make them go to court to get a guaranteed spot.
People are saying it's a fait accompli. It would be a pretty quick injunction. My brother Steve's calling me during the show. He must have gotten his cookies. Either that or mail came and his cookies weren't there. Maybe I'll put him on the air and you can hear him yell at me for not getting his cookies. All right, here's what we got now. 16-team playoff. This is what my panel wants. No automatic berths. Top 16 teams seated accordingly with transparent seating criteria. And then Brian says the G5's got to be in the top 16 or they don't get in.
He said it got to be in the top 12
I put
to get into a 16.
I put a top 16. They can't do that. And if the G5 has 3 teams in the top 16, then so be it. They have 3 teams in the top 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's
if it's merited, they're in.
Yeah, here's the thing, though.
If it's not, they're not.
If you go to a criteria where it's ranked via computer, and that's what you do, then they're going to get left behind anyway. That's why they're going to sue you. They're not playing the same sport. They're just not. And as a wise radio host once said, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. But let's go to the phones, where callers come first. We'll get as many people in here as humanly possible. Hello and welcome into our first call. Generally, as our first call goes, as how the show will go, I thought that was a sham of mockery. And Bino, one thing I can't stop thinking about what Bino said is, you're these Ole Miss fans. You've waited all your life to get in the squared circle. You've been through this Lane Kiffin thing, and that's your reward, a blowout game in the first round. That kind of sucks. I guarantee if you ask those people, would you rather do that or play a real game with Notre Dame? Notre Dame in their building would have been unbelievable, Andy. Hello and welcome into our first call. And by the way, congratulations to A&M. We knew you had it in you. We knew you had it in you. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Happy holidays, Bino.
Hey,
Brian.
Lumbo. Good to hear from you, brother.
Merry Christmas, Mark.
Well, yeah, of course I agree. They would get sued. They would lose. But there is a counterpoint here that the underbelly of the sport needs a reward to chase. How many future P4 all-conference players, how many future P2 coaches and administrators come from that level of football?
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys said, put one in there, that's fine. I don't need to see Coosa. I don't need to see the MAC. I don't need to see the Sun Belt anywhere near this thing. But, Tony, I'm just going to remind you and the audience, James Madison lost by less than we did last year, and they put up 500 yards of offense. Now, I know that the game got squirrely, and Dan Lanning did not take his foot off the gas like Ohio State did against us. Ohio State played the third-string quarterback in the fourth quarter.
Mark, why? Why you got to do that?
I'm just saying. They lost by less than we did. That's a fact. Is it not? We lost by 25. They lost by 17.
The Grinch.
And Dan Lanning kept us. Trust me, I had Oregon minus 20.5, and Dan Lanning throwing it all over the yard was urinating me off to the nth degree. But, yeah. So, and they're never getting rid of the SEC championship game. That's where all the business with the corporate partners happens. It's a very important weekend for the league. It doesn't cost them much to put that game on. It's never going away. I don't know. Maybe they changed the format of it. That weekend is never going away.
Yeah, I think that they've talked about changing the format where they play like a 2-game doubleheader kind of thing, and that would be incredible watching. If they did that 3-5-4-6 thing that they've discussed, you would get some serious eyeballs and some serious wagers and some serious interest in that, man. That'd be a lot of fun to watch.
You just need to make it so that it's no longer, these conferences have gotten so big that the championship game become weird, with 18-team leagues and stuff. You just need to make it the highest-rated conference team gets in. That would have been Miami in the ACC, and then Notre Dame would have gotten in, and nobody would have complained. But the reason for my call, Tony, it's a little off the subject of what you're all talking about, but I want to talk about the basketball team real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there watching Sunday Night Football, and I see some Tennessee content come across my phone. So I get in and listen. And, now, Tony, I only played 1 year of AAU basketball, but if you've played like 4 years of AAU basketball, you have to be considered a basketball savant. Should be up on the stage with Jay Wright and Clark Kellogg at the Final Four analyzing the game. Or I'm with Chuck and Shaq and Kenny and Ernie on Inside the NBA. If you've played 4 years of AAU basketball, that means you're a basketball savant. But here are some of the nuggets I got from this, and the only reason I'm repeating them is because I've heard them on your show before. These guards are inferior defensively to what we're used to. Well, yeah, no kidding. Zakai, Gainey, and Meshack were all-conference defensive-level players, if not all-American-level defensive players. unless you brought Joe Dumars and Bruce Bowen in here, there was going to be a downgrade. Duh. Number two, the offense is clogged. The lane's clogged. If everybody should go read what Rick Barnes said yesterday. They want to play inside out. You want to know why? Because they're bigger, stronger, and more athletic on the block than the rest of the teams they're playing. At least they think they are. What, you want Felix Akpara out there playing at 25 feet away from the basket? Or the carry kid playing at the three-point line? What are we talking about? And the last one, which made me turn it off, was it's Rick Barnes screwed up playing Syracuse. The game was part of the ACC-SEC challenge. Rick Barnes had nothing to do with it.
That's right.
Do you really think Rick Barnes sat there and said, you know what I want to do?
Go
on
to
December
Syracuse.
2nd, I want to go to Syracuse, New York, and play a meaningless non-conference
in 8 inches
That's
of snow.
That's exactly what I want to do for my team.
Yeah, in 8 inches of snow. I don't. First of all, I don't understand these league challenges. Nobody cares about these. Yeah, nobody cares about them. We did one with the Big 12, which was really stupid. Negative saying Gainey was not an all-conference defensive player. I'll tell you this about Gainey.
At that level.
He's a very good player on both ends.
He's
You're right.
Defensive player.
Yeah, he's very good.
Those three were unicorns on the defensive side. There was always going to be a downgrade. And one more thing on Ament, Tony, and I'll let you go.
Yeah,
got other calls.
This Ament thing, yeah.
Okay. He ain't Cooper Flagg, man. Cooper Flagg's dropping 40, and the NBA is an 18-year-old kid.
Yes.
He's not Ace and Newell. He's not the kid from South Carolina whose name misses me right now.
Yes.
He's not Boozer. Those guys had NBA bodies.
That's right.
In a ideal world, Ament's here 2 years.
Right.
And he spends a year in the off-season program, and he comes back and he's a player of the year. You never know with NIL. Maybe they can make that happen. I highly doubt it. But the kid is a 6'10 gazelle who is highly, highly skilled. He's a wonderful passer. He's got elite positional size, and he's got a great stroke. But this is a grown-ass man league. He's going to have some struggles. And look, the people say, "Oh, he's supposed to be Kevin Durant." Kevin Durant is one of the 5 greatest scorers to ever step on a basketball court.
And Kevin Durant
when Kevin Durant was throwing in 30 a night at Texas, guess what? They didn't get out of the second round.
That's exactly. You said
they don't need him to do that
weekend.
Here.
Yeah,
he's got a place on this team. I thought the most junkyard dog team you can play with a bunch of grown-ass men, Houston, he struggled, but he wasn't terrible in that game. He was good. And that was a Final Four elite level of war that he played in. He wasn't overwhelmed.
Alex
Let him grow up a little bit, get a little stronger.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine.
And Columbo, thank you for the call. Alex made a really good point to me yesterday walking out the door. I was showing him out of our Ramir's studio annex yesterday with his cash and prizes. And Alex said, Tony, at the end of it all, people were on Ament today on the air, and rightfully so, and are concerned about him, and rightfully so. But really what this season comes down to is what all these seasons come down to is if by the time they get to March, if he grows up a little bit, toughens up a little bit, is able to play through contact a little bit, and goes for 25 2 games in a row and gets them to the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, that money's worth it in today's day and age. And if he doesn't, we'll just look at him as another, Rick Barnes 5-star, I don't want to use the term flop, but here's what's curious about this kid, Bino, is that Barnes rolled his sleeves up and really went to work on the Haslams. We saw him over there at the Tennessee basketball game in the spring with him when he was working them for that money for him. He loves this guy. And so far, Beanstar, it's hard for me to see what he sees. Now, I'm not saying that it's not there, but I'm just admitting this. It's hard for me to see what he sees right now.
Yeah, I think that more times than not, we're going to be happy that Ament is on the floor, Tony, going forward. But I totally understand questioning whether you should invest $4 million or whatever it is into any freshman other than a Boozer or someone that comes in just ready-made that could have gone straight to the league, no problem whatsoever, and made a contribution there. I do think that going forward, you have to think more in those terms. If you're going to do a one-and-done guy, it better be a boozer guy and not, say, a Springer, Keon Johnson, maybe we'll find out Ament guy.
Yep. Back to the phones we go. And, Lumbo, you need to check your numbers because last year the Ohio State game really wasn't competitive, but we were only down 11 at the half. And the other night, it was 34-3 at one point, Lumbo. You say they didn't pull off the gas. It was 34-3 the other night in the second quarter in that game. Now, come on, Lumbo.
Blowouts happen even between two Power 5 teams. Often. Let's not forget that.
That's right.
No, that's a playoff staple.
But we'll go
I
back.
mean, some of the 4-team playoffs had blowout games.
Sure.
More than not.
Sure. But sending those G5 teams, Brian, into that thing, we all agree is really silly. They're going to go to a 16-team format next year, and as Bino said, somehow they're going to figure out a way to make this thing convoluted, and they're taking away, apparently, home games next year, which doesn't make any sense. We thought we were going to get home games at every site. How are we not going to get home games at the 8 sites? How's that going to happen?
I have no idea. The projected bracket that I saw had 1 and 2 seeds with buys to the round of 8. You had 2 play-in games to get into what I'm going to call the first round, which there will be 6 games in. So ideally, you could have your 2 play-in games played at home sites, and then 6 more games in round 1 played at home sites. Why would you do away with that when you've got more opportunity to provide that?
I don't understand it. And look, if you want to throw that G5 team in there and they want to go up there at Ohio State and get absolutely hammered, okay, fine. Don't ruin the rest of the games pretending like we're letting 3 of those teams in. Don't do that. And I get the feeling they're going to do that.
That's the only good thing I can see about this convoluted 16-team bracket they're putting out.
Yeah.
A group of 5 team will be in one of those play-in games. It'd be like, they'll be gone before they get out of Dayton.
And for the record, I love G5 football. I like 1AA football. Bino and I were talking the other day about that.
Yeah.
We were talking off the air about that Montana State. Incredible scene up there. Incredible game till it wasn't. But the Grizz got run over by a great quarterback. I mean, this guy was on. And, I mean, they were catching everything, and he was hitting everything. And Lamson is the guy's name, and he was throwing the ball in all kinds of windows. It would not surprise me if that guy plays pro football. And then Villanova got kind of run over the other night by a pretty good Illinois State team. So you got a good final there. I value that sport. I value what those kids do. I value G5 football. I like it. I watch it during the year. We all do. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays throughout the football season. It's great. But you're not playing the same sport. You're a feeder system. So we're going to take a team from the feeder system and put them in the playoff at the end of the year. I'm sorry, that makes no sense. Back to our phones we go.
Hey, Tony, I want to go back real quick to the clogged lane discussion.
Yeah.
I think that is more likely when you play 2 big men.
Yes.
But I think that's the way that this team needs to play. And I noticed, especially against Louisville, that our post players are beginning to learn to kind of clear a path for our drivers.
Yeah.
Kerry's especially good at it. He
Yes.
just kind of it looks like the tush push under there when he's under there. So I believe they're learning as we go to kind of clear the way for us on drives.
Amen. Amen. It's all work in progress, right?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on Friday. This is as close to a start-over team as Barnes has had in a long, long time here, and it is a totally different style. It has to be an inside first and then outside team because we just do not have, in my opinion, the consistent outside threat that we've become so accustomed to.
Back to our phones we go. Hello and welcome in. They're going to have to get very creative to navigate the SEC this year with this basketball team, and they will. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Randy from Altamont.
Hey, Randy. Good to hear from you.
Hey, I'm getting kind of outside the box. Look at this. Why don't we just go to 17 and let 16 play 17? Let 17 be the non-power school.
Like they do with the play-in game up in Dayton. You could have had JMU and that other team play for the right to get in the tournament. You know, that's not a bad idea. That gives them an entree into the deal. That's not a bad idea, Bino, is it?
No, it's a good idea. It's much better than the
and they couldn't sue
format that I saw that they're bringing up.
And they couldn't sue you, by the way, because you're giving them access to the deal.
That's right.
They could not sue. Randy, that's a pretty good idea, man.
And then you can play it the week of the Army-Navy game at night and just roll from there.
Well, what they're saying about 16 versus 17 play-in game, I like that, Randy. I like that idea. You could even put it. You could even put a Power 4 school in the 16 slot and let them play the G5 team.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If they win, they deserve it.
I'll tell you what's interesting, because Bino and I were having this discussion. I think that the Tulane team that went to Ole Miss would struggle beating either of those two 1AA teams that I saw over the weekend. Especially the Montana State team. I think that Montana State team would score a bunch of points on that Tulane bunch. There's a lot of good football players out there. I'm not besmirching what goes on in the group of five, but it's a shame those kids don't have their own playoff, Randy, because it's good college football. It's not fair to those kids.
Yeah, it is pretty good, Tony. I don't watch it that much, Tony. I just got other things going on, but
oh yeah,
I just don't.
Well, you got your house painted orange. I mean, you only got eyes for the Vols, bro. You know what I mean?
I watch a lot of football. I gotta land it sometimes, Tony.
You're the man, brother. We got you recorded. Anything else for us?
No. Merry Christmas.
Merry
and
Christmas.
Love your family too. You're still here, guys.
Love you, brother.
See
Thank you. That's words of wisdom right there.
You know, Illinois State.
Yep.
Will have to travel 9,500 miles between all the games, the road playoff games they have to go to and play when the postseason's done. It'll be over 9,500 miles total.
You mean to tell me, Bri, they've been on the road the whole time?
They've won 4 straight games all on the road. They had to go to Louisiana, then they had to go to North Dakota, then to California, then to Pennsylvania, and now to Nashville.
865-200-5402. I know one thing. That's going to be a great championship game. They're playing that in the Monday night slot. They've actually moved that game, Bino, to where people can celebrate it this year. It's the first weekend without Monday Night Football. So right after the NFL regular season, right in that slot is going to be the Monday. Instead of playing it on a Sunday afternoon where it's totally buried, and they're playing the game in Nashville, Bri. Is the game going to be in Vandy Stadium, Bri? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. You know, you got Illinois coming to Nashville for the Music City Bowl, and then Illinois State coming there for the national championship game. It's going to be at Vandy on Monday the 5th.
And by the way, we got to keep our streak alive with Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime. We're doing them during all these. I got to ask the staff how we're going to do this, because I don't know if you guys have seen, but the Vols tip off 5:30 East. The Vols kick off 5:30 Eastern time with Illinois. Bryce said,
I've seen it. Yeah, 5:30 and then an 8 basketball.
They have an 8 o'clock tip off for basketball, which means this: the game ends at 8:30. We'll be in here watching, I guess, the Crip basketball game. So when the Crip basketball game ends, we'll be in Garza Law Tennessee Basketball Overtime mode just to keep the streak alive. I'll have to say that you're listening to Garza Law, 5th Quarter Fan Reaction / Tennessee Basketball Overtime Alex said we should take one call that night and then just stay on football, Bino, just to keep the streak alive. What do you think, Bino?
Yeah, I think that's an outstanding suggestion.
Yep. He said because
if you can get one call that night on that basketball game.
He said because doing the post-game show after those Crip games is quite a chore, and it is a chore. But I give the hardcores a lot of credit. I mean, I'll tell you this. Negative knows the sport. Negative had a pretty fair and balanced phone call, especially for him yesterday. As we continue with more, I got to call my brother Steve and see if he got his cookies after this, and we'll come back and get some calls in.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof, T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here. for budget transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our gold bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses, engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to budget.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama ZZ approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Hey there, Basilio crew. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. The holiday season is here, and if your plans include unwrapping your new home, then take advantage of less competition and motivated sellers while others are out fighting over parking spots at the mall. Smart buyers are out snagging deals on great homes, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and as always, go Vols!
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
And B is me, and we're back with you, 865-200-5402. Tony Basilio. Tomorrow is my birthday. John Adams will be in the house. We're doing Festivus for me. You bring your grievances to me and just basically rip me on my birthday. And I sit here and take it. Bino, before we go back to the phones, are you concerned about Nate Ament, Bino, or not at all?
Oh, I think Ament I think Ament is going to be able to make a consistent contribution to the basketball team. I just don't know that you're ever going to get out of him the investment that you made.
Yeah,
I think he's getting better. I think he's going to get better as we go along. Mm-hmm. As someone said, he's not going to get any stronger. You don't get it stronger so he has to change slightly the way that he's playing. But anytime you got a 6'10" guy that can handle the ball and pass and is a threat from the perimeter, he's going to be a positive for your basketball team. He's just never going to be worth the $4 million. So if you take that out of there and don't think about that, yes, I think he's going to be just fine.
You know, the Boozer guy, Bino, guys like that, this DeBenza guy, guys like that, those are the guys that,
There's going to be about 4 of those a year.
4 of them.
Yeah.
And to this point, we haven't had one here.
No.
Somebody brought Kennedy Chandler up last night. Kennedy Chandler, the reason he went to the pros is real simple. He wasn't going to get any bigger. Kennedy Chandler I take him out of the one-and-done conversation because he could have stayed here 3 more years and he would have still been 5'0".
He was as close to maybe anybody that we've had, I think.
Yeah, but he was never – the reason, Brian, that you take him out of the deal is this Ament guy could grow into his body. See, the problem with a guy like Ament is when you're a beanpole like that and you get to the NBA level, you could end up in the bus leagues. Because if you don't develop within your first contract, you could have a goofy career. You know, Keon Johnson's like back in the mid-state now. He's not even like, I don't even think he's overseas.
I thought he was playing for the Maine Celtics, somebody said.
Did he go back?
Somebody tweeted that he was playing for the Maine Celtics.
Because the last I heard, he was down in the mid-state. Okay, well, good for him. I hope he tries to hang on. But he's in the bus leagues. And that's kind of the point here. So, and I'm not saying that this guy's got the same level of skill as, because you could look at him and see, hey, if you don't figure out how to play offense, and he was a wonderful defensive player. Same with Springer. Springer had that big rear end on him. And my Sixers like Springer. But you can only carry a guy for so long. Neither one of those guys were real difference makers. And it's going to be interesting to see what this team looks like in a couple of months. Do they grow? Do they develop? Do they have answers? I think the one thing that was really great about yesterday's game was seeing the play out of the 2-guard. Matt made a really good point, and Alex yesterday, that the 2-guard play is extremely important in these Crip games. Getting consistent scoring there. Abram was pretty impressive yesterday. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to get any amount of terrific three-point efficiency. But they hit a third of them yesterday, which for this basketball team, if they hit a third of their threes, I think they'd live with that most nights.
Well, they sort of picked up where they left off against Louisville.
Yeah. Abram was impressive yesterday.
And also Henderson and Evans also have to be factored in. I think both of those guys had a good game.
We'll go to the phones, though, because, look, if you don't get some scoring out of your 2-guard, this team's capped. And you're going to have a difficulty beating these high-level teams. Brian, speaking of which, what's going on with Kim Caldwell, her style of play? And somebody sent me a link to a Lady Vol board over there on Vol Nation. Those people are going in on her. They're not going for this, Brian.
I didn't see the game much on Saturday, but I saw the score. It was close in the third quarter. It was like a 3 or 4 point game. And next thing I know, I look up and they're losing by 20 plus.
That team started pressing them and they got trashed, Brian. That's what happened.
And Louisville's got a really good team with a really good coach who's been there for over 10 years. So that's disappointing, but it isn't really shocking to me that Kim Caldwell's only in year 2, that you got the result you got.
I don't think her system's going to work, Brian. Sorry. I think
I
think you've got to defend in any level of basketball.
The players they have look like they might be overrated that they thought were so good.
Spent a lot of money on them. You got to be able to defend in any level of basketball. And this line change stuff, if I was a high-level player, there's no way I'd want to go play for somebody that's going to pull me off the floor after a couple of minutes.
Also, it's too bad they couldn't keep Ruby Whitehorn straight because she would have really helped.
One-woman crime
wave.
They
did what they had to do.
One-woman crime wave. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. I guess this is the payoff that what Danny Dollars paid instead of her baseball coach. To get an average Lady Vols basketball team. You went all in on women's sport.
Look,
guy's just an idiot.
No, I don't like that that narrative because Tony was going to leave for the Giants anyway.
Yeah, I know. I get it, Tony. That's his dream job, and he wants to fulfill it.
Yes.
The NIL was such a headache to him anyway, and having to tell these meetings with parents that wanted that wanted all this money. I just think that was a factor.
Yeah, that's fair. I think, guys, the best way to do this, if they eventually go to 16 teams, I think a group of 5 teams should only get a playoff spot if they're in the top 10 to top 15.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought of earlier. If it's a 16-team playoff, they should be ranked in the top 12. If it's a 12-team playoff, make it top 10.
Yeah. All right, so here's how I see it, how it's going to go down in the quarterfinal game, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that Indiana team, Signetti, is going to lay the clipboard down on that Alabama team. I see them beating Alabama by 2 or 3 possessions.
Anthony's going to be in attendance for that. He's going to get to see Indiana and Alabama in the Rose Bowl, baby.
Let's go, Anthony.
Wow, outstanding.
Nice. All right, Ohio State and Miami. I think Ohio State is going to win about 10 to 13 points.
I think
that's
around 10. I think that's going to be a closer game than people think. Miami's got Miami's got an excellent defense and a very good running game. I wouldn't sleep on them in the playoffs.
Carson Beck is not a serviceable quarterback, though.
Bino, you imagine them spending north of $3 million on Carson Beck this year? How bad of an investment that is? You want to talk about a bad investment?
Yeah, there's just something missing with Carson.
They're in the playoffs. They won a game, so I mean, it can't be that bad of an investment.
That's a good point, Bri. But Carson Beck, to me, looks like he's got the body of a 45-year-old out there. He looks like Phillip Rivers being starred.
If they beat Ohio State, I think that'd make it worth it to get to the
You could put
semifinal.
him in a Colts uniform, and you couldn't tell the difference.
No, you wouldn't be able to tell the
Rivers.
difference. Except Phillip Rivers throws a heavier ball and probably is more athletic at this point in his career.
Yeah. All right, in the Georgia-Ole Miss game, round 2, I see that Georgia team beating the brakes out of Ole Miss. Just the advantage. Ole Miss doesn't have their head coach, and Georgia does. And Kirby Smart wants to prove a point.
Ole Miss isn't any good on defense, and
they are.
And Georgia's peaking. Georgia's might be my pick to win the national championship right now. Really. What do you think, Beanstar? I mean, it's a long ways off here. We'll talk about it before but snapshot in time. What do you guys think?
Kirby Smart versus Pete Golding. That's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah.
Good line.
Good line, Brian.
Bring one of those G5 teams back.
Yeah.
On Friday, Tony, I told you that I thought either Georgia or Texas Tech was going to win the whole thing, and I haven't come off that. So, Josh, you don't think there's going to be a close game in the quarterfinals?
That's my next and final game, Oregon versus Texas Tech. That game is about a pick'em spread. I'd see that game being close for the whole game.
Okay.
You could go either way on that one. I just don't have a good feel on who's going to win that game.
What's the number in the Ohio State-Miami game, Josh?
I want to say it's
10.
around 8.5 or maybe 10.
8.5 or 10? Which one, Bri?
I think it's 10.
I saw 10. Our contest had it 10.
All right. So the introductory line was 10. I would play Miami inside the number there.
Hey, Tony, do you really believe that Mega Dave said yesterday on the postgame show that Ament is going to average 8.5 points when we get to conference play?
Mega Dave tends to overreact. That's a ridiculous take. He said he's like a role player. Let me tell you something about Nate Ament. Nate Ament is Tennessee's second best player right now. He's going to remain that. He's going to play well in league play. Now, is he going to play commensurate with a $4 million tag that they've spent on him? Probably not. Probably not. Is a conclusion
I'm kind of at the
coming
point
to?
with Mark. I think he may be back for another year, the Colton Hood situation, if he doesn't get a good grade.
I don't know about that. I don't. Because the NBA, and Josh, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. The NBA just takes these guys. And takes them really when they shouldn't be taking them, because they're not doing him any favors. That's what's different about the NBA and the NFL. In the NFL, they don't take you. Colton Hood went from a first-round pick. Mid-season, he was getting first-round vibes, and your people talking about it, so he got a third-day grade back from those people. And you can do with it what you will. Nate Ament ain't going to get a second-round grade from those people unless he falls flat off the table. He'd have to fall flat off the table to do that. I mean, we saw that in the NBA this past draft with the two kids from Rutgers. Those guys were so kind of mid in college ball last year that they didn't even make the NCAA tournament. And they had two lottery picks. It's weird with the NBA. It's almost like, Bino, they don't even care about college basketball. They don't value it at all at the NBA level.
Well, I mean, with the rules the way they are, Tony, where you basically can sign 1 year after you finished high school, I guess the NBA basically has to draft off of projections.
Yep.
Whereas the NFL sees these kids play at least 3 years of college football, so they're drafting off production. And whereas the NBA is projecting, except for maybe guys that they've watched for a number of years play in Europe that are already developed.
Yeah, they want you to grow into your body, I guess. That's what they project is how you're going to grow.
Sure. 865-200-5402. And that's the thing about it. So from a college perspective, I got to look at a guy and go, what kind of player are you right now? And I really think Rick Barnes thought this kid would be further along or have a little more dog in him than he does, because to this point, he looks to me like he's a pretty good college basketball player, but not a great one. Like yesterday, somebody brought up and I'm just trying to be fair, the two kids from Auburn, those two freshmen they had, and one of them was a redshirt freshman, the kid that sat on the bench at North Carolina. But the other kid, the kid from Atlanta, whose name's escaped me right now, somebody help me out here. Brian, what was that kid's name? Who looks like Ament, the kid that could really shoot the ball from the outside. Brian, what was that kid's name? Do you remember?
I honestly, I'm not sure.
There were two of them down there. Anyway, both of them were high. That was the team that Miami popped them wide open. I want to say in a second-round game. What was that kid's name, Brian? Come on.
Was his name
Smith?
Wendell Green?
No, Wendell Green. Brian, Wendell Green, the tall guy. Smith.
You mean Jabari Smith?
Jabari Smith. Thank you. I knew his name was Smith.
And Alec Kessler.
Yeah, and the Kessler kid was, he sat on the bench for somebody for a year, and then he went down to Auburn, and he kind of blew up. But, and I get it. Jabari Smith. This kid ain't Jabari Smith, Bino. He's not. Is he going to play to that level, Bino, by the end of the year?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so, Tony.
No. Let's go back to the phones.
But I think he's going to play at a level that makes a valuable contribution to this basketball team.
Yeah.
He's not a guy that's going to lead you into, the Final Four. But he's going to make a valuable contribution to the basketball team, just not a $4 million one. Tony, the current line, Ohio State, Miami, is Ohio State 9.5.
9.5. How would you play that, Bino, if I forced you to?
I believe I would take the points, like you. I think that's going to be a good football game.
Miami's very good defensively. They were very good over the weekend. They smothered Texas A&M. Granted, the conditions were the conditions. But when you have a back like their freshman back, who's a really special player, and you have the ability to get physical with teams that Miami has. We've seen Miami get into some street fights this year. I don't know how they lost at Louisville. I don't pretend to know that on that Friday night.
Well, Beck threw like 20 picks.
There you go. You rely on your running game.
If Beck doesn't throw picks,
keep the game in front of you.
Miami's got a chance to beat anybody.
Back to the phones we go. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
How my French compatriots doing today?
W. Lynn, welcome in.
Tony, when you said you were going to have a post-game show and take one call.
Yep.
It reminded me of a couple years ago. We were playing at Georgia in basketball, and somebody was so fired up about ripping us because we were losing by 12 points that I think he got on hold with 10 minutes left in the second half. And then we came back and won, and he hung up. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know who that was. Was that Negative?
Negative was on hold 55 minutes, and the Vols made an incredible because I was in here getting ready for the show, and then he hung up, and he told us the next day when he called in, he goes, "Yeah, that was my. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say."
I just thought of that funny situation that happened that time, but
wasted money on Doc Nick.
As far as this playoff situation is concerned, Tony, I'm completely against 110% against this 3-5-4-5 nonsense in the conference. Now, if we did it SEC 3 against Big Ten 6, I might be for it, and Big Ten 3 against SEC 6, but I'm like Brian, that's just going to get somebody fired. Playing within your own conference, so I'm against that. Yeah. Now, somebody kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but I was thinking a 16-team playoff, take the 15 best teams, kind of like what Bino said, and then your last spot is the group of 5 team versus the Power 4, whatever, that's the last one in. So that'd be a 17-team playoff, basically. And you could play it the night after the Army-Navy game.
But the problem is, W. Lynn, like anything, that makes too much sense because what they want to do is the day of the Army-Navy game, they want to start the playoff according to Ross Dellinger. So they're going to take teams 12. They're going to take team 12. Hang on, how are they going to do this now? 13 plays 16
through 16.
And 14 plays 15, and they're going to have their own little mini tournament right there to get the thing to – how many teams would that get it to? 14, Bino? Why?
Well,
why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a 14 that's not a –
Why would they do that?
Doing, really.
What are they doing? Why would you do that? That's what they're leaning toward doing right now.
One thing, guys, is they want to reward their top 2 seeds with a bye. So,
good grief.
They've just turned it into something as convoluted as it can be. Like I say, there's nothing more simple than a 16-team single elimination bracket until they start.
I mean, that's all you got to do. And like I said, if you want to have one game for the group of 5 versus the last at large, but anyhow, what they ought to do is we ought to have Division 1. Group A is Power 4, Group B is Group of 5, and then C is 1AA. And we're only given 10% of the television revenue. Now, this is all up front. This is not when you're in the playoff and you earn like whatever it is, $8 million a game. I don't know, but we're only given less than 10% to the group of 5. Surely we could just pay them off and let them have their own playoff.
Why don't we pay them off, Bino, and let them have their own playoff? Because I guarantee you TNT would like to pay them off after the weekend when they see their numbers.
That was absurd. That was horrible. And the dumb NFL's got to play 2 games, and that irritates me too during the college football playoff. I guess we'll never change that, will we, Tony?
Oh, no.
The NFL has been playing games on Saturday before Christmas forever. I'm talking going back decades.
But, Brian, they tried to make a peace deal. I forget what it was, but they offered the NCAA some kind of peace deal, and the NCAA blanched at it, and the NFL said, okay, we'll show you. I remember that a couple years ago. There was some kind of deal they offered college football, and the college just said, no, we're not doing that.
Well, that's how stupid things are being run. Look, eventually, and it might not happen in my lifetime, I've got 21 football teams that are kind of the big boys. and their presidents are going to have to get together and going to say, okay, who else are we going to invite to make a 24 to 36 team league?
Mm-hmm.
And it's eventually going to happen. Now, this Big Boys League's got 9 SEC teams and 7 Big Ten in it. So then I included Brigham Young, Notre Dame, and 3 of the ACC. And the people that are on the outside of the bubble right now are Ole Miss, Arkansas, Wisconsin. I mean, what do y'all think about that?
Bino, where are you on that? Bino, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys. I don't know. I haven't thought a whole lot about it. I think when they go to 16 teams, and I'm kind of like Tony, I'd about soon stay at 12. But I think when they go to 16 teams, you'll have everybody in the bracket that's really capable of having any opportunity to win a national championship, and you'll also be able to include one group of 5 team that's not going to destroy a whole evening of football.
Altamont had a great point.
Yes.
You give the group of 5 team the 17 slot and let them play the 16 in a play-in, or you take 2 group of 5s and let them have a play-in to get that last spot.
Get that one
give them
spot.
2.
At least that would be only one bad game.
Correct.
Because they're going to have to play the number 1 seed.
And you know what they ought to do, guys? They ought to take that thing and play it in Dayton's football stadium just to make it official.
Yeah.
Play that damn thing in Dayton's football stadium, Bino.
Yep, perfect.
Or they could play it in Ewart Stadium, Cincinnati, who, by the way, is not in my new division if we go power.
Well,
Cincinnati doesn't make it.
No, because Ewat's a clown, and they don't deserve to be in. And WLN, thank you. WLN, you take something convoluted, and WLN will take it and divide it by 5 and multiply it by 4 and put it to the third power, and he confuses the crap out of me, Brian. That's your guy, WLN.
You know, Cincinnati.
He confuses me.
That Cincinnati team that made a 14 playoff 4 years ago,
yes,
would have waxed all the group of 5 participants that made the 12-team playoffs.
You don't say. You don't say. You don't say.
I was lousy. I was absolutely lousy in geometry, and WLN always comes in here with numbers and letters combined. So
I knew. Hey, I knew Bino checked out on that. I go, Bino, what do you think? Bino's like,
I'm sorry.
I do want to say a word here to my man Sammy in the Ridge, who sent me, and I'm just going to say this, one of the most unique presents I've ever gotten. Sammy, thank you. It was tremendous, wonderful thought. I can honestly say, I'm a guy who's a picker from back in the day, like going to swap meets and whatnot, hunting things. I've never seen, Sammy, anything like that. And you're to be commended for breaking the seal, and a wonderful thought by you, Sammy in the Ridge. Thank you, brother. You touched my heart, man. You really did. My friends at VIP Play want to remind you, tonight there's a great game in the NFL. Actually, Bino's guys have lost 6 of their last 7, but I'm on the hype train. Plus, my Flyers have the Vancouver Canucks, who were supposedly selling off a player. They made a deal. They've won 5 in a row since making the deal, since selling their star player. Team sports are weird. Who knows where it comes and where it goes, as the great Steven Tyler once said. Beanstar, do you have a play tonight in that game?
Tony, I am going to play the Colts tonight. I think it's their last opportunity to win a football game this season. And I just happen to like dogs on Monday night playing at home. Home dogs on Monday night. I like them.
Let's freaking go. And yesterday, the playoff picture got really scrambled. And I want Titans Bill to tell me what happened to that Lions team. I know they're all beat up. But you can't let Aaron Rodgers do that to you now. And that had the craziest game. Did you guys see the ending to that game? That official and that officiating crew at the end of that game should never work another game again.
You know, they're trying to get the Steelers in the playoffs.
Brian,
they want Aaron Rodgers because of money, TV, big numbers.
The head referee tells the crowd that's waiting for 7 minutes for an explanation the football was recovered and taken in for a touchdown, and then he says, but it doesn't, and the crowd starts cheering. He says, but it doesn't count because there was an offensive pass interference. How about this? Offensive pass interference with a 10-second runoff. The game is over. That's all you have to say. You don't tell the crowd that the guy's Pino. Did you see that? How confused everybody was?
Yeah, I did. I'm sure they had it by rule correct, but I mean, if they would have said forward progress was stopped, the game is over, I would understand that.
Yes.
But on a touchdown and a penalty, why isn't there one untimed down?
Hey, W. Lynn, put that officiating crew in charge of your playoff, and we'd really have something. Or in charge of this 16-team convoluted 14 play-in playoff thing that they're going to do over the Army-Navy weekend.
16-team bracket with 2 byes and two playing games.
I mean, you talk about something.
Lordy.
Jeez Louise, man. Bino, I want you to explain that to me on the other side, because you found something that explains what they're talking about, and then we'll get some more calls in. My friends at VIP Play, go claim your VIP Play welcome bonus. Play Bino's Colts and my Flyers tonight on your parlay. The Flyers, play the Flyers on the money line. Not a regulation win. They're going to get an overtime win tonight, or one in the shootout. You bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. And remember, 200 leagues are live always. Numerous bet types. There's props. There's options. All kinds of fun stuff for you. Also, remember, they're constantly upgrading their app as well. They've got specials in there, games as well, like their Bracket Buster Challenge during this college football playoff that many of you jumped on. Thanks for the support. VIP Play, everybody there gets treated like a VIP at VIP Play. If you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the wonderful state of Tennessee to place a bet. And we come back on the other side as we continue with more. Shout out to Taylor Gouffon today, working it out with my man Goldbrick Joe. I love it. Shout out to Taylor Gouffon. More after this. Currently a residential electrician. Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company-paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our tryouts last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
The season of giving reminds us of what truly matters, community and connection. Hi there, Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. As the year closes, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you, my Basilio family clients. Thank you for trusting me with your most important decisions. Whether it was finding your first home or successfully closing a chapter, your trust means everything. I look forward to new and continued relationships through the new year, and feel free to reach out to me at 865-694-5904 or nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And of course, go Vols.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexial Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Connexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the #1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Connexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Connexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
TB back with you. I want to remind you there's several ways to consume whatever it is we're doing here. You can check us out over on the Fan Run app. You can check us out on our app. You can check us out on live stream. You can check us out over on TuneIn Radio. You can check us out over on YouTube. You can check us out over on Twitch. You can check us out on X Spaces Video and also Twitter Spaces, which is the raw feed. You can hear what we're doing in between breaks in here, but it doesn't sound as good fidelity-wise, but you get to hear all the behind-the-scenes stuff. You can check us out in a myriad of different ways, but check us out. Also, free blog every day. There's a couple thousand words up there today. Throaty's written. I've written some stuff. Also, Ron Wright Wannabe has a piece today where he marries, a few things. Tomorrow I'll have a few thoughts on Festivus. Somebody's asked me a question. I need Bino and Brian to help me out here, and then we go back to the phones. The Festivus tomorrow ends with a feat of strength, guys. The final tradition of the holiday involves a wrestling match where the head of the household is pinned by a participant of Festivus, signaling the end of Festivus. So do I let John Adams pin me tomorrow, guys, on the camera? Or do I have Anthony come down here and ceremoniously pin me in the studio, thus signaling the end of Festivus? Bino,
Dixie might pin me if I give a score of the bowl games going on.
Well, you're not the head of the household. And tomorrow you're not the key. You're not the signature of Festivus tomorrow, Bri. We have to follow how the episode goes.
Okay.
I didn't know.
That'll be the undercard.
If you were, it's the undercard. Bino, how do we do it? Do we take the camera, make it handheld, let John hold the camera, and let Anthony come in and pin me?
I think that's the way I would do it, Tony.
Let him work me over?
I think I would let Anthony come down and take care of business.
We've had a lot of interesting conversation over on the YouTube chat regarding the playoff coming up. I don't know how Alabama did it the other day, because they should have been down 24 points at halftime. At 17-7, or 17 points anyway. It was a 17-7 game. It should have been 24-7. They should have been buried. And instead, 2 minutes later, they were tied. I don't pretend to know, Bino, how they did that. Do you? How they did that?
Well, I mean, there was an obvious mark the tape play in that game when Mateer had an opportunity to run for a first down.
Yep.
Where they could have kept the ball, and in all likelihood, they would run out much more in the second quarter. Wound up at very least kicking a field goal to be ahead 20-7. Instead, you have I guess I don't know that Alabama had 7 at that time. Maybe they did. Then you have the drop punt.
Yes.
And a score, and then you have a pick six, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got a football game.
One thing college football does prove to us, guys, year after year, is that history matters. I'm just a big believer that history matters. They won that game because of history. Alabama did the other day.
Has never won a playoff game still.
Oklahoma, as Matt Dixon reminded me, has blown 2 17-point leads in playoff games under 2 coaches now.
I saw some wag say that 50 Cent was the perfect guy to come out for them because Oklahoma plays for 2 quarters.
You can't make that up now. What do you think they paid him? Paid Curtis to come out there and appear for 2 seconds. You don't think these teams are awash in money, do you? They brought him out there, Bino. What was their slogan? Never die, hard to kill. And they laid right down and did the J to the O to the B. Hard to kill, yeah. You're really hard to kill when your punter can't even get a punt off. Hello and welcome in. You're on our unsponsored phone lines. You're on the air. Hi.
Hey, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas to you.
Hope you're having a great day. This college playoff deal, I don't know why no one has just decided Power 5 needs to have their own playoff. I mean, they're not as powerful. I don't know why they call them Power 5, but anyway.
You mean Group of 5?
Group of 5, yeah.
Yeah.
But they need to have their own playoff. Those kids deserve to play and have their own little deal. I don't know why that's not been being done over the years, because they get into the major playoff. They just proved it yesterday, like it's proved it every year. It's not going to be a game. I mean, I watched that Oregon game. I watched the first and second quarter, and that's it. I flipped it on some other stuff, but and TNT kind of got screwed as they gave ESPN out on those two games. I don't understand why they did that unless they got a lot of money for doing it. But
no, they paid for it.
Oh, really?
They paid a lot of money for it. Are you kidding? They subleased those games from ESPN. ESPN did that to defray the cost because it was cost prohibitive for ESPN to carry those games. So they wanted, and TNT, when they missed out on the NBA and some other things, they've decided to create some more sports programming.
Well, that's crazy. I don't know, but they know what they're doing more than I do in the TV world like that. But, hey, I'm like you, Tony. I think Georgia's going to smack everybody. Those boys have been playing mean football.
Yes, they have
like
been.
We're used to seeing on Rocky Top back in the day when the guys were just curious on defense. The whole bunch of guys, and they've got a bunch of time off. You wait. They're going to wear out Ole Miss.
And I'm gonna
you
tell
know
you
what we could see?
Go ahead, Brian.
Is Georgia versus Carson Beck in the semifinal if Miami takes care of Ohio State.
Hey, guys, I'm not. People can laugh at me. I'm telling you, when you can run the ball and play defense like Miami can, like Brian told me during the break, if that head coach and that quarterback can just stay out of the way and play defense and run the ball, they will have a chance against that Ohio State bunch because they're pretty good in their secondary.
My problem on that A&M game, guys, play calling can get you where you need to score. And they had a lot of wind. But the thing about it was they were going east and west with the throws instead of north and south. And I don't know. It just didn't click. I didn't understand why they didn't throw it downfield more, the little short throws, 7, 8, 10 yards, instead of going deep a lot, but
apparently the wind was vicious in that place, though, because if you saw them trying to kick field goals, nobody could get a ball through the uprights. And then it looked like every time the ball would go up in the air, it was getting blown around. I mean, apparently it was extremely windy there.
Yeah, it was. I think they said 30-mile-per-hour gusts at sometimes throughout the entire game. So that's the reason why I would not try anything long. I would, throw them a little slant, across the middle, 6 or 8, 10 yards, and move it that way. They were throwing a lot of those wide receiver passes, screens that didn't work. But anyway, and what surprised me in the NFL, boys, is the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
I remember back years ago when they were great, and where did they come from? It's crazy.
That's the league. They hired that really bright young coach. They've got a pretty decent quarterback. They've got a pretty good defense. That was an impressive win the other night. Obviously, knocking out Love really helped in that game, Greg, and I appreciate the call, but that's a great win for them. Bears are a fun story, guys.
Yeah, and they sort of still, Green Bay should have won that game even regardless of that. But
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think between Liam Cohen and Ben Johnson, I kind of thought if the Jazz can get just one of those two guys, I'll be very happy. If they get one of those two, and they got the other one. And he's pretty good, too.
Hey, Bino, you ready to say it about Brian's Jags? We've been avoiding it all day today.
That they're
a Super Bowl contender.
Well, there's two really good teams in the AFC South. Houston's really good too. Those two teams are legit.
Houston's won 7 in a row. The Jags have won 6 in a row.
865-200-5402. And if our Eagles didn't share from our bounty, the Steelers wouldn't be where they are, because the only reason they're doing what they're doing is the back we gave them has really, really, really had a nice year for them. But their running game yesterday, they took advantage of the fact that Detroit's all beat up on defense. That Detroit team couldn't stop anybody. I'm telling you, Tim Banks is from there. He's got to be watching them going, man, that looks like my defense out there. 865-200-5402. We're going to stay and do a few minutes of overtime, but not much. Bino and I will stay. Bry's got to go. I got to meet somebody. So, and that somebody's listening to us right now. So I'm on a hard count over here, but we'll do just a couple seconds just to let these people that are on hold get in with us. Hi, welcome in. And by the way, the great William Pattison's coming up here in a matter of moments. And William, I look forward to seeing you next week. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony B, Bino, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Josh?
Hey, Josh. How you doing?
Hey, Tony, I really don't care what they do, but I think what we're headed towards is kind of AFL, NFL merger, SEC, Big Ten merger, 64-team Super League with Southern Division with or Southern Conference with 4 divisions and the Northern Conference with 4 divisions of 8 apiece. And no more stupid committees. We get back to some geography a little bit. You would think all these universities could, they got a map around somewhere somebody could look at, but, and then, you know, you look at the NFL, how they do it with the playoffs, 14 teams make the playoffs out of 32. You'll see a minimum of 24 teams out of 64 in the playoffs. And you'll see a college football Super Bowl just like NFL. I mean, that's what it's headed towards.
In the meantime, though, we've got a 16-team playoff next year. You can't let 2 of those group of 5 teams in a tournament next year. You just can't, Josh.
No, it's stupidity. But, I mean, incompetent people run this, Tony. I mean, everybody can see it. They're stupid. They're stupid. I mean, they're empty suits.
For them to let that be in their bylaws, that those 2 teams could get in there, is totally embarrassing.
Those idiots don't even know how to write a bylaw. I mean, Tony, the lawyers wrote this up. They're just worried about, like, am I going to get sued? And then the TV contracts tell them, you know, what I need, and they accommodate them. And be damned the fans, be damned the kids, be damned everybody else. I mean, it's all about money. So,
well, Miami's not being in the ACC championship game due to some dumb tiebreaker was what allowed that to happen.
Yes.
And that actually might have benefited Miami the other day, not having to play a game, an extra game.
Hey, Brian, that's why I think Miami's got a chance to go on a run, because it'll really trigger people if they beat Ohio State. It's going to really trigger people.
Where's that game at, Tony? Is it the Orange Bowl?
Yes, I think that's right. Is that right,
it's guys? In Miami.
Yeah, I think that is right. Is that game in Miami, guys? Do you know?
It's in the Cotton Bowl. That Miami plays Ohio State in Texas.
Oh, that's right, because they were talking about how
Oregon and Texas Tech are in the Orange.
Because they were talking about how A&M had a chance if they would have won. That's so A&M. They could have stayed at home, Josh, 2 weeks in a row in the playoffs, and they totally squandered it. Stay right there, Josh. We'll finish his call. My main man on the Wheels of Steel's up next. Ladies and gentlemen, William Pattison. Bri, peace.
Hi, Brian. Merry Christmas.
Love. Hit it, William.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340 WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
It's pretty incredible. As we're here with you, ladies and gentlemen, the great William Pattison is taking over Rover, because you're going to move over Rover and let Josh take over. Josh, somebody said you need to come in here tomorrow and pin me to end Festivus. Hey, Bino, I don't want to die on my birthday. Is that okay with you?
Yeah,
I think Josh.
I think I'd stay with Anthony.
I think Josh, as much of a smart ass as I've been toward him, is liable to come off the not only pin me, Bino, but give me the bionic elbow from like 10 feet up in the air.
I just want to make sure Steve gets his damn cookies, Tony. I mean, I hope it's not like my copper cards that I've never got in history.
Festivus starting early.
Get the man his cookies. Come on.
Festivus starting early, man.
I have no clue who's going to win this playoff, Tony. It really is kind of up in the air. I'm not sold on the Big Ten. I think Ohio State will beat Miami myself, but and they're probably the most talented. But I mean, who knows? Really?
And
I mean, they've not.
Georgia's got a chance. To me, the three teams that have a chance are Georgia, Ohio State, and Indiana are the three cream of the crop teams. But again, this is all matchup dependent. If anybody could knock Ohio State out, it's that Miami bunch, because they can run the ball. And, man, they can really defend.
I just think the SEC is really down, Tom.
I agree with that.
I think it's a bad year.
I agree with that.
I think we're on a downtrend. The NILs, there's not the super talented teams that we grew used to for all those years. It's
well, Ohio State says to everybody, hold my beer, and they spend stupid money in the portal, man. They're running unchecked. They're running unchecked right now.
I looked at budgets. Mm-hmm. Of course, you don't know these budgets and stuff you see. You don't know if the NFL's something or the NIL is something totally different that's not included.
Correct.
Or what? So you really don't know. I mean, I don't know if Tennessee's. It's impossible to compare what we're doing, what we're spending our money on, because there's no clear information on how much we actually do spend that I can find.
No, you're exactly right. So what I do, and that's why I try to talk to like agency folks or folks that sort of have their ear to the ground, because that's really where that sort of stuff comes from. Because some of the figures that are out there for some of these guys, I don't believe. But at the same time, I will tell you this: the two big spenders in the sport this year were Ohio State and Texas Tech, and then the two Texas schools also spent a ton of money. Texas spent a bunch of money right up there with them, and Texas A&M spent a bunch of money this year.
Do you think that Hoover kid is in play, Tony? You think he's the guy that's going to end up here, or no?
The agent I talked to last week believes, and he made me a little sketch list, and I went over it last week, and obviously this stuff's all subject to change. And that was before Hoover went into the portal. But the two that it was thought that were down to Texas Tech and Tennessee were Cincinnati's quarterback and Arizona State's quarterback. One goes to Texas Tech, one goes to Tennessee. I think Cincinnati's quarterback's going to end up at Texas Tech. His girlfriend just transferred down there for volleyball, unless he's wanting to get away from his missus. Hoover, the talk is that he's going to be maybe Indiana bound if they don't go with Mendoza's little brother. And that would not shock me, because they need a guy that's more of a thrower than a runner, and it looks like Hoover would fit their offense, Bino, with his ability to throw the long ball. We need a guy that's a runner and a thrower. The guy from Arizona State is one of the more willing runners out there. I think he'd be a great fit for Heupel's offense, and he's a winner.
What about the injury, though, Tony? What's that? Does he have a history of injuries, or is that just a one-time deal, or what? You know?
I haven't looked into that. I don't know. I do know he got hurt this year. Yeah.
All right, man. Y'all hang in there. Merry Christmas, you boys.
Thank
y'all
you,
take
brother.
care.
Yeah,
See
you
guys.
too.
Merry Christmas, Josh.
And I know some people are going to tell me, well, Tony, they lost to they lost to Mississippi State this year. That's not being a winner. That guy didn't have Scatterbill. And they still recovered, went on and had a nice year, and he got hurt this year. Last year, he led them to the playoff and was damn good in the playoff game. That Cam Scatterbill was a hell of a player last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolute stud.
Went right up there to the Giants and did whatever it was he did. Giants are
he was getting ready to. He was getting ready to explode in the NFL too when he got hurt. Looked like to me.
I saw where Ashton Genty finally looked like Ashton Genty yesterday, Bino.
Yeah, that's been a little bit of a puzzler there. It's usually stud running backs. That's of course you're always depending on what kind of line you're running behind, but usually stud running backs will go in the league and they're stud running back.
If the Vols end up at the end of this with Arizona State's quarterback, that will tell me two things. They've spent a lot of money, and so they're pretty serious about it. And they want to compete next year for a playoff spot. Two fair assessments, Bino?
Yeah, yes, Tony. I mean, if we get one of those guys, and along with the change in defensive coordinator, and we make a number of additions on the defensive side, then I'll believe that Tennessee has acted with the – I don't know that it'll work, but I believe that they've acted with the sense of urgency that they needed to show based on the results of this past season.
Vol Steve said Heupel could fix Lagway. No. I don't want that guy.
It's kind of an issue with Hoover, too, just the way it was with Aguilar. I think he's thrown 24 interceptions combined over the last two seasons. So that's something that you've got to and you know, that was a big concern about Aguilar coming into this year and didn't turn out to be a huge issue for us.
Is it going to be hard?
The running portion of it is the part that you have to really look at.
Going to be hard, Bino, to upgrade over Joey Aguilar?
I think we'll have to be at the top of the free agent class, transfer class to do it, and that's where we're apparently aiming. So
it
that's
is a free agent class, Bino. That's what it is. No, it's what I mean. What are they?
Is.
They're all free agents. You know,
it is.
He's saying Napier ran a complex scheme. No, I'm not talking about that with that kid. I'm talking about with that kid, he can't stay healthy. Why in the world would I? And I'm not knocking him, okay? Because when he played as a freshman, he was pretty good. But that kid is clumsier than I am. And you ought to. If I put a GoPro on me during the day, you'd say, God, how does that guy get through life? But that guy's clumsier than I am. Beanstar, you have anything else you got to add? Because I got to get going here, but it's been a lot of fun, man. Are we hanging out on Friday, or are you taking the day off?
I will be there on Friday, Tony. Looking forward to it. And I hope everyone has a blessed, healthy, and Merry Christmas.
I agree with that, Bino. I want to hang and bang with you on Friday.
Looking forward to it, Tony. And happy birthday to you tomorrow.
Will you call in tomorrow and, shall we say, get a few licks in on me?
Unlikely, Tony. I mean, you give me 6 hours a week to do that, and I'm out of bullets. I'll be cheering on the callers, though.
You can't think of anything that you'd want to rip me over?
I can't narrow it down.
Do you think John Adams will be agging that stuff on? And
I mean, John's this is the day. He's had this day marked on his calendar.
I said the other day to John, I said, John, what are you doing? And he said, I'm working on my list. And I said, what list? And he said, my list of grievances against you.
Started that right after he got his Christmas list done.
On the way out, if you're unable to join us tomorrow, we won't have a show Christmas Eve. We will tomorrow. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And if you're a Hanukkah celebrator, happy Hanukkah to you this season as well. We love you. We appreciate you. It's been a lot of fun today. To those we couldn't get to, I apologize. I've got to get going. And get going is what I'm going to do. If you missed the early portion of the show today, people were like, why did you talk about the issue you got into? Well, guys and gals shouldn't be playing together. That's not even a political issue. That's a common sense issue. And I'm going to end the show there. Just like these Power 4 teams from the big leagues shouldn't be playing the group of 5 teams in the playoffs. And we're not allowed to just say, hey, we're not going to do that. We're losing common sense is my point here. That's common sense. People say, well, you're being transphobic. No, I'm not. If you want to go participate, go participate against the men. Go for it, brah. You're a man competing against women. That's not fair to them. And if they would have had any leadership and common sense, they would have said that. That's not transphobic. Don't label me. That's ridiculous. Like I'm against a group of people. I'm not against anybody. But I do like fair play, though. If athletes are going to train, they should compete against each other. But I guess you're not allowed to say that because you're going to get labeled. Well, let me tell you something. Your labels don't bother me, but they piss me off. But they're not going to keep me from speaking what is the truth and common sense, because that's a common sense position. I'll ask you right now, those of you referring to me as transphobe, would you want your daughter who worked all her life, okay, all her life to play a sport, to have a man come in and make a mockery of her sport while she's trying to compete at it? Go ahead, you tell me. And by the same token, would you want your son to go out there as a G5 football player who doesn't have the same budget, whose team's had a great year, and go out there and play in a playing game or play in a playoff game like that and get sacrificed on national television? And that's their quote-unquote reward for a season? That's a reward? That's your reward? It makes no sense. But as a society, it's like we're not allowed to just say what this is. And I'm not even mixing the metaphors there. I'm tying them together. Just like this. For some reason, watch this. For some reason, the Predators are having a press conference today to announce that Nick Saban's a part owner down there. College football should be having a press conference today to announce that Nick Saban's their first commissioner. So we can clean this mess up. Clean this mess up. So, in the real world, I say, let's just use a little common sense and clean college football up. And let's get some free and fair competition for all involved. Have a great day. Peace. G to the B to the O.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340. WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Tony Basilio welcoming you to another edition. It is, ladies and gentlemen, your Monday, race fans. So I'm listening to one of my hockey podcasts here before I come in. And I was telling Laura, I'm going to tie this into what we're talking about today. Nick Saban's going to be introduced today as co-owner of the Nashville Predators. Bill Haslam's pulled him in down there.